Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Can you hear me? A very good morning to you all. Assalamu alaikum. If you can hear me, please say hi, good morning, madam, or something. Yep, thank you so much, Farihan. Is it just Farihan here? Okay, Ezra as well here, Samai pun ada. Okay, thank you so much for the response. Good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Yep, let's start now. Let's begin this uh, lesson, which is 2.1 equations. 2.1 equations consist of two goals, which is one is indices, surd and logarithm. We will learn all of the rules of the indices and the meaning of the surd and its conjugate and also its algebraic operations on surd. And then there is another goal, which is B. We will do it as well in this hour. It is called as the equation involving this tree, which is the indices, surd, and logarithm. Without wasting time, let's just move forward with the first example here. Write the following expression in index form. So index form ini in Malay we call it bentuk index ataupun kita panggil dia sebagai hukum index. Okay, you must recall back what you have learned from your school. They call it hukum index. You learn this in Maths Modern tingkatan 3, which I bet you already have some knowledge about how to change this 2 over x cubed into an index form ataupun bentuk index lah. So it's very easy. It is just 2x to the power of negative 3. Okay. And question B here, you can separate the number with a number. You separate the number 1 over 2 and you separate with its 1 over x 4. You separatekan dulu, you akan nampak dengan jelas bahawa dia sebenarnya 1/2 x to the power of negative 4. So this is called as index form. Now let's go to the next example. Simplify. The first question A here, simplify 3 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of 6 divided with 3 to the power of 4. So let me show you the example and then I show you the formula. Let me show you the concrete example dahulu. So 3 here, the base is all the same. Base semuanya sama. 3 semua sama. Okay, therefore the base here is very important. What is changing? It's not changing. The power is becoming 5 plus 6 instead, divided with 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4 remain there. Nothing to be darab or tambah. Nothing changed there. The ones that changing is just above here. Okay, we are actually using a formula of a to the power of m times with a to the power of n is equals to a to the power of m plus n. Ini yang saya sedang cuba pakai, iaitu saya menambahkan power dia. Okay, I plus the power. That is what I should do when I see a problem where it is a times. Okay, kalau kita nampak problem dia, bukanlah yes, it's a problem. There's a question here. When it is a times, we must plus it. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to plus them, plus the power. And so I got 3 to the power of 11 over 3 to the power of 4. The thing is, kita tak habis lagi dapat bentuk jawapan akhir, iaitu kita mesti faham lagi satu konsep di mana apabila kita jumpa bahagi pula, when we see a division, we must minus instead. Okay, we minus with the 4. Therefore, the answer is 3 to the power of 7. Is it clear? So what I'm using here, it is actually a formula of am divided with am. It's going to give you am minus n. So there is a formula on your right hand side here. This is the formula. So I have already done two formula. I already cover the two formula there. So you can always refer on your right hand side notes there. Okay, so now let me go to the next example, which is 18. 18x squared y times, this is times, yeah, times with y to the power of 5 divided with 3x to the power of 4 times y. So what I can suggest you is that you separate number with a number, and you separate the numbers, and then you write down the alphabets besides them. Okay, so it's gonna give you 18 over 3 times with x to the power of 2 minus 4. So in case you ask me why do I put 2 minus 4, it is just because this is a division. When you have a problem where it involves a division with the same base, ya, satu benda yang you all kena tahu, di mana base kita sentiasa kena sama, barulah kita boleh pakai formula ini. Alright, so you must make sure the base is the same, baru you boleh pakai sama ada dia tambah ataupun dia tolak. So in this one is where x squared with x 4. Therefore, the same base is x. Look at the problem carefully. Look carefully at the base here. So therefore, the base is x. And then in fact, this is a division, pembahagi kan? So kalau you berjumpa dengan soalan, problem yang berbentuk bahagi, you must minus the power. So 2 minus 4 is there. Whilst untuk yang y pula, 5 will be minus with 1. Therefore, the final answer is 6. X to the power of negative 2 times y times, saya boleh tulis dalam bentuk dot lah, to the power of 4. And you can also change your index form in terms of 6y4 divided with x to the power of 2. Some of you might want to change this power of negative 2 dekat bawah pun boleh. Dua-dua memberi maksud yang sama. We call this index form. So both are correct anyway. Okay, so here goes the next part. Yang ini mungkin baru bagi setengah orang, tapi sebenarnya sudah pun belajar pada tingkatan 3 Maths Modern, tingkatan 3 Mathematics. So this is actually where when you have a times, when you have a bracket, you kena pandai tengok problem soalan. Mathematics is about look at the question, look at the problem carefully. So when you see a bracket there, so this power squared adalah untuk kedua-dua variable di dalam bracket ini. So it's for 3 to the power of 2 dan juga x to the power of 5 times it with 2. Alright, so this power, what I meant here is this power 2, tak kisahlah power apa-apa pun, when you have a bracket there, you must make sure both of the variable has the squared number 2. So this is actually referring to the formula number 3 here. Okay, ataupun number 4 here. So this power n is for both of the variable inside of this bracket. This is what we are going to use now. And so after we understand the concept, we know that 3 squared is 9. Yang ini, x to the power of 10, it will be, because from the formula of am bracket n, jawapannya adalah amn. Okay, it means that m must times with the n's. That's why I got 10. So this is actually using the formula of this one. So I hope you can compare it yourself at the notes, on the notes that I have given you all. Please look at it frequently. So now I have a next question is square root of inilah. So a square root pula. Kita panggilnya cubic root. Cubic root sebab dia adalah 3. And so I can change this cubic root into 1/3. Okay. And then, macam biasa, saya suka selesaikan 54 bahagi 2 ni. So, 54 bahagi 2 adalah 27. So, dalam ni akan jadi 27 X kuasa 3. I think you know already kenapa X kuasa 3. Sebab ini 1. 4 tolak 1, 3. So, here goes. Again, the same concept. This power 1/3 adalah untuk kedua-duanya. Kedua-dua variable di dalam bracket. So x cubed times with the power of 1/3. And so you tekan calculator, this one is actually cube root of 27. Cube root of 27 is actually 3. Kalau some of you have already hafal, dia akan terus nampak bahawa ni sebenarnya adalah nilai 3. So x to the power of 1 lah. That's it. The answer is 3x sahaja sebab this is cut. Tinggallah x to the power of 1. Done here. So now, question E here. Di sini mungkin baru juga untuk setengah daripada you all. It's not that hard. It is actually quite easy. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you put in the correct power inside of the bracket. Okay? Maksud saya, dalam ni ada nombor 9, yes, the same base. And then di dalam bracket ini, kita pilih the positive power inside. Okay, the positive power means 1/2 ni adalah power yang positive. So make sure always positive inside of this bracket. Dan manakala di luar ini akan jadi negatif 3. Sebab kita faham negatif 3 darab 1/2 adalah negatif 3/2. So it's the same thing. This is equivalent to each other. It is just now I separate them so that what? So that I can make sure I know this is actually square root 9. Punca kuasa 9. So sebab saya juga tahu apakah jawapan kepada punca kuasa 9, iaitu 3. So 3 kuasa negatif 3, tekan calculator, you will get 1/27. So that is what we want. We want to see a number that we can know we have a direct answer, you know. So this is actually a formula that I use, again, the same thing here. Menggunakan konsep yang sama sahaja. Formula pun sama sahaja. Some of you might thinking, oh madam, mungkin ini adalah formula yang madam cuba sampaikan. Yes, it is. Let's say if I change this, sebelum saya bagi jawapan akhir, I can change this into 1/3 to the power of 3. And it can give me 1/27. So I change this negative power, bawa turun, dia jadi positive power. This is what we are applying, right? Which all of us already understand, the hukum index. And the last one here is, this is, we call it improper. No, this is not improper. This is a good fraction, but we must change it into improper fraction, which is going to give you 36/25 to the power of everything. Again, I said, di dalam kurungan ni. Kejap ya. So, di dalam kurungan yang begini. Ya, I need to make sure di dalam kurungan warna merah ini mempunyai positive power. Why? Again, the same thing, because this is actually a perfect square number. Kalau kamu pernah dengar perkataan ini, it's good for you. If you do not know it, please Google what is perfect square number. You will see that this is actually a square root. Ini sebenarnya nombor square root. Punca kuasa 36/25 sebenarnya dapat direct answers. Okay, you will get a direct answer. Just a minute. Okay, it will give you a direct answer which is 6/5. Okay, we know that square root 36 lah. Square root 36. Okay, some of you might question me, Madam, can I separate the square root? Yes, you are allowed to separate them. Pun boleh juga. I will teach you in detail on the next page where we have a surd. But for now, you just press calculator, you will get 6 over 5, everything here to the power of -1. It will give you, in fact, 5 over 6. How do I know 5 over 6? It is just based on this formula. So I hope you have the ability to understand this formula very, very well. Okay, so this you will have to do it by yourself. Try it whether you got the answer. So I have already covered most of this formula there. Okay, so as I said, please make sure you have a positive power inside bracket. So if you forgot, please make a note there so that you're always referring the lecture note. So now let's go to the second part here, which is learning about surd, the rule of surd. Ini surd. Okay, so we have few formula here that all of them are very important. And so let's begin with the first example of the square root, which is square root 45. So square root 45 here, it seems like, oh, boleh pecah ke ni? So you must think and think what number can give you a perfect square. Perfect square numbers. Again, you have to Google this if you do not have heard of this. Perfect square number is just actually like 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 6, 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, pardon me. 4 squared is 16. So all this 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, all of this we call as perfect square number. Di mana kita tahu dia boleh dipunca kuasakan. Okay. So kalau kita familiar dan kita dah selalu buat matematik, kita akan sedar bahawa this is actually square root 9 times with 5. Therefore, this square root 9 is actually a number 3. Give you the number 3, right? So you boleh pecahkan juga square root 9 darabkan dengan square root 5, whereby it will give you the final answer, which is 3 times square root 5. So that's the answer. What I'm doing here is actually from a formula of this one. Ini yang saya tengah cuba pakai. Di mana saya pecahkan, di mana di sini adalah square root 45 just now. And saya boleh pecahkan dia menjadi 2 square root yang berbeza, iaitu 9 darab 5 akan memberi kita 45. Same thing. I'm using this formula. Just make sure the value of A and the B is always positive value. Di dalam surd ini must be always positive value sahaja. So done, first question. Next one is, square root 7 plus with, this one is plus already tau. Plus punya operasi tidak sama dengan darab, of course we know that. And therefore pelaksanaan dia punya calculation dia juga berbeza. It means that the answer is 3 square root 7. Wow, how do I got it? This is actually 1. Okay, from a concrete example here, this is actually 1. It is sort of like 1 x tambahkan dengan 2x bersamaan dengan 3x. Okay, so you have to remember that. You bayangkan square root 7 ni sebenarnya macam 1 pen tambah 2 pen. Jadi ada berapa pen? Ada 3 pen. So you got to imagine that this is like a variable x, an unknown x. Sebab apa? Sebab dia adalah sama. Dia seolah-olah macam huruf x. So be careful with the operasi tambah lah. So sebab apa? 1 tambah 2 adalah 3. Careful with that concept. This is operasi tambah. Again, we have a operasi tambah di sini. Cumanya kita mempunyai sesuatu nombor yang agak besar di dalam surd. And so here, 27 can be divided, can be pecah. Okay, boleh dipecah menjadi 9 darab 3. And of course, we know square root 9 gonna give us the answer, isn't it? Therefore, It is square root 3 in front here. Sebutan yang pertama jangan ubah, bawa saja. And here at the back here, we know that square root 27 is actually from square root 9 times with square root 3. Okay, kalau kamu kurang faham, lebih baik kita tulis dengan cara yang lebih jelas. So this square root 27, I've changed this into square root 9 times square root 3. Therefore, the answer is just 3 times with square root 3. Therefore, you will get 4 square root 3. How do I get 4 again? How do I get 4? It's just because 1x tambah 3x. Dapatlah 4x. Okay? Tapi janganlah tulis x. You must make sure you write down the square root 3 lah as the final answer here. So square root 3 doesn't change because it has already been simplified. It has already been very small and just remain it there. So now right here, question D. Saya memberi ruang di sini agak lebih banyak. So make sure, I'm sorry about, I have updated a little bit just the spaces of the note. So here goes question D. So di sini di mana kita boleh pecahkan dia sedikit demi sedikit. So we have here square root of 12 times with square root of x cubed times with, dot tu bermaksud darab ya, y to the power 5 and then times with z to the power squared. And so we try to think whether 12 can be divided into a number that where we have a perfect square. Do we have a perfect square? Ya ataupun tidak? Yes, kita ada. Actually, it is just 4 times 3 gonna give you 12. Whereby 4, square root of 4 gonna give us the answer of 2. Jadinya, kita boleh pecahkan dia lagi menjadi 4 square root 4 darab square root 3. And di sini, di mana masih sama, tidak perlu ada apa-apa perubahan sebab tak boleh ubah pun. Tetapi yang di belah belakang ni kita boleh ubah sebab square root actually is 1/2. Everybody knows already. This is square root, this is 1/2 to the power. And so apabila 1/2 times 2 gonna give us just a positive z. So z di situ to the power of 1. And we can simplify this. It's going to give us 2 square root 3 and so on. Semua ni sama lah. So saya copy paste saja. And then I look carefully di mana semua ini square root. Dan saya boleh gabungkan dia menjadi satu square root yang lebih panjang lah. Which is it's going to give me square root of 3x cubed y to the power 5. And then z is at the back. Dan z itu boleh dibawa ke depan. It's going to give you 2z and the rest of this is the square root 3x cubed times with 3x cubed times y 5 to the power 5. That's it. That's the answer. That is how you simplify them. Okay. Kita nak simplify sampai kita tak boleh selesaikan lagi. Last one from me. Last example here, di mana kita tahu kalau kita ada bentuk yang begini, kita darabkan sahaja masuk ke dalam. Okay, darabkan sahaja satu sebutan demi satu sebutan. Hence, the answer is, careful then, 8 darab 5. Okay, this one is 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, darabkan nombor di depan surd dengan nombor di depan surd, which is we gonna get 40. Okay. And then, jangan takut dengan di dalam nombor surd ini. Mengikut hukum surd, rule of surd is saying that whenever you have a square root of A times square root of B, it should be square root of A times with B. Therefore, 2 ini akan didarabkan dengan 6, akan memberi kita 12. Follow? And then plus with 8, darabkan dengan square root 2 times square root 2. So square root 2 times square root 2 sebenarnya adalah 2. If you do not believe me, you can press your calculator and you will get the answer. Therefore, the final answer is 40 square root 12 plus with 16. Oops, again, square root 12. Square root 12 ini boleh dipecah. Jadi, kita tak boleh lupakan. Kita tak boleh lagi rasa macam, oh, square root 12 is already final. No, it's not yet final. We can still simplify. Kita masih boleh permudahkan seperti yang sebentar tadi, which is 40 times with 4 times with 3. And then this is 16. Therefore, the final answer is 80 square root 3 plus 16. Done. Okay, and then here goes the final part from me untuk surd, di mana kita darab satu demi satu di dalam ini. Okay, and it will give us 25 minus with, careful there, 10 square root 7 minus, is it minus? Here is plus. Okay, and then minus with 10 square root 7 again. And then at the back here will be minus 4 times 7. Okay, remember ya, kenapa darab 7 di belakang ini? It is just because square root of 7 times square root of 7 gonna give us a 7. You should look at this formula and you will understand kenapa dia nombor yang sama. Okay, and so the answer is actually, tengah ni dah padam. So 25 tolak 28, jawapannya adalah negatif 3. That's it. So this one, I want you to do it by yourself. Just darab masuk satu demi satu. Make sure you are using all of this formula very, very carefully. Okay, just apply them, understand the concept, understand the rules, follow the rules, and you will be fine. Next part is where we will learn how to rationalize. Okay, so now we will learn how to rationalize. So di sini, apa yang kita nak rationalize kan? Rationalize the following surd. Okay, the following surd. We are still at the surd. Cumanya, we do not like it. We do not like the surd di bahagian bawah ini. Yes, we have a pecahan. Just now, last week, we have learned about pecahan untuk huruf I, remember? But this one, pecahan dia mempunyai square root di pembawah. So this is our problem. Square root di bawah, di bahagian pembawah, we do not like it. Okay, kita tidak suka surd di bahagian bawah. So apabila kita tidak mahu surd di bahagian bawah, we use the concept of rationalize the denominator. Again, the same concept. It is just that how do we rationalize it? It is just by salin soalan dulu, square root 3, 5 square root 3, and then rationalized it by times it with itself. Sebab kita tahu square root didarabkan dengan square rootnya sendiri, kita akan dapat nombor 3. Therefore, hilang surd. Tapi jangan lupa, rationalize mesti atas dan bawah sama. Therefore, we copy paste. And so the answer is 5 square root 3 divided with 3. That's the answer. So we call this, we times by itself. Okay, we darabkan dengan dirinya sendiri supaya kita dapat positive 3 sahaja. And so we are happy there is no surd di bahagian pembawah. And so here goes the next question. Salin dulu soalan again. 2 times square root 3. Don't forget to rationalize it. Okay, dah nampak problem? Problem kita adalah square root di bahagian bawah. Times it with its, again, it's itself, supaya hilang square root tersebut. And therefore, the final answer is 3 square root 3 divided with 2 times 3. So berapa 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 6. Therefore, the final answer is square root of 3 over 2. Ta-da! Done. Let's move on to the next question. Here goes 1 over 7 minus square root 2. So dekat sini you akan perasan, alamak, ada 2 sebutan. Macam mana aku patut rationalize? So cara rationalize-nya adalah tidak susah. Tukarkan sahaja yang di tengah-tengah ini menjadi opposite sign, which is you will get 7 plus square root. Okay, square root 2. You tukarkan sahaja dia punya simbol di tengah ini. Sebab apa? Sebab apabila kita darab masuk nanti, dia akan hilanglah surd. Hilang surd dengan magicnya hilang surd. And so, we just must rationalize it by times with its odd conjugate. Sebenarnya kita panggil ini sebagai conjugate juga. Because it has an opposite sign. Okay, opposite sign. So make sure you times with its opposite sign, then copy paste lah. Therefore, the final answer is 7 plus square root 2 divided with 49. 7 times 7 is 49 minus with 2. Tolak 2 saja. How do I know tolak 2? Sebab saya tahu di tengah-tengah ni akan hilang surd. How do I know? Because 7 square root 2 minus with 7 square root 2 is actually going to give us a 0. So tidak perlu tulis pun, tidak apa. Okay, it's fine if you do not want to write it down. It's okay because we know it's a 0. So don't write it down. At the back here will be minus lah. Okay, sebab negative positive is minus. And then 2 square root 2 times square root of 2 going to give us 2. Sebab itulah tolak 2. And therefore, the final answer is 7 plus square root 2 divided with 47. Done. Hati-hati. Hati-hati dengan rumus ini. Hukum surd ini hati-hati. This is hukum surd. Hukum surd wajib tahu. Wajib dah ada di dalam kepala kita. Okay. And so, final one here is the same technique I would like you to try by yourself. Okay. So basically, you just salin dulu soalan. Walaupun ini mempunyai 2 sebutan, don't you be afraid of it. Ini sebutan pertama dan ini sebutan kedua. Sebutan kedua tidak apa perlu yang diubah. Nothing change. Kekal di situ. Okay, kekal di situ, nothing changes because dia persatu. Okay. This one is where you need to rationalize. I call this rationalize the denominator. So nanti dalam minggu depan tutorial saya tanya apakah konsep ini. You must say this is a concept of rationalizing the denominator. Bila perlu pakai rationalize? Bila kita mempunyai surd di bawah. So we do not like it. Kita tidak suka surd di bawah. Therefore we rationalize it. We must times it with its conjugate, whereby square root of 3 plus with square root of 2. Okay, so you just copy paste square root of 3 plus square root of 2. It must be the opposite yang di bawah ni tau. Sebab tu nama konsep dia rationalize the denominator. Therefore the conjugate must be from the denominator itself. Bukan dari atas ya, tapi dari bawah. So make sure you be careful. You try to solve this yourself and you will get an answer of, you try it yourself, you will get 5 plus 2 square root of 6 plus square root of 2 DIY, okay? Try it, whether you got the answer. And also try this one. Compare your answer with your friends. I gotta move forward, go to the logarithm part. If not, I don't have much time. And so here goes logarithm. So logarithm has so many formula. Not so many, but there is only 4 important formula here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's begin with the basic concept of logarithm, where, for example, we have 9 equals to 3 squared. So basically, you sudah pun belajar di SPM dulu, di mana you tukarkan dia menjadi log apabila indeks bentuk indeks menjadi log, dia berubah begini kan? Dia berubah menjadi log base 3 9 is equals to 2. So you know how to change it already. So I'm just here to recall balik macam mana you tukarkan daripada index form kepada logarithm. So make sure you just recall balik how do we do this. So basically this one akan jadi log base 4 1/64 bersamaan dengan 4. Bersamaan dengan negative 3. So I bet you do know already. What I'm trying to do here is this one. I changed this from index form into logarithm form. So both of them are equivalent. This is actually equivalent to each other. So make sure you know how to change whenever necessary. Apabila diperlukan untuk pakai, you tukarlah apa yang perlu. Kalau kita perlukan lah, kita akan tukarkan. So this one is the same thing. I just have to cross multiply dulu. I will get 2 to the power 5 equals to 32. So when I want to change it into the log form, it will give me log base 2. Sebab apa? Sebab ini base 2. Sama juga ini base 3. So daripada sini base, dia jadi base di bahagian log pula. The same thing, base 2. So base 2 juga untuk logarithm. So now it will become 32 is equals to 5. Correct? And so we're done here. Let's move on to the next question. So dekat sini, I will show you a little bit of formula, not formula. I will show you the concrete example dulu. I always love to show the example first, then I'll go to the formula. So now I will show you that this is actually ln. Okay, please know that ln is actually the same, not the same thing. It's logarithm has two names lah. One is natural log, one is common logarithm. So this is the definition. Satu adalah natural log, di mana natural log kita panggil dia ln, ataupun some of the lecturers call it ln, but I will always call it ln sebab dia lebih kurang macam sebutan log, sebab dah biasa pun panggil log dan juga ln. So please make sure you understand when I'm saying ln, I'm referring ln lah. Okay, kalau saya sebut log tu maksudnya log biasalah, the common log. So here goes the ln 4x. So this ln 4x, the natural log, so can be divided into ln 4 plus with ln x. Soalan nombor 2, log 10 plus with log x. Manakala soalan nombor 3, ln eksponen 3, ln E3 tolakkan dengan ln 7. Madam, how do you do all of these things? What is this actually? So, please, I would like to welcome you. A logarithm, a law of logarithm, or sometimes I will short form it. I'll call it as LOL, law of logarithm. When I say LOL, it is where I'm referring to the law of logarithm. Di mana you sudah pun nampak pun sebenarnya, di mana kalau kita mempunyai darab kan, ini 4x, 10x dia darab. Therefore kita boleh pecahkan dia menjadi dua sebutan yang berlainan. Ln 4 plus with ln x. Manakala ln 10, ln 10 tambahkan dengan ln x. Okay, dia sebenarnya daripada darab ini 10x. So this is where this formula is applied here for two particular question above here. Well, untuk yang di bawah ni pula, you akan perasan di mana dia tolak. Oh, madam buat tolak pula. Bila waktunya dia menjadi tolak? Apabila you have the problem where it is a division. Apabila dia pembahagi, apabila dia pecahan, m divided with n, which is E3 dibahagi 7, the formula must be minus. So this is the formula for number 2. And saya akan sambung lagi. Di sini, madam akan membuat sesuatu yang mungkin you juga sudah tahu. Bahawa power 3 ini boleh dibawa turun menjadi 3 ln E instead. Bawah belakang ni salin balik. And so madam akan, kamu pun tertanya-tanya, madam, why do I need to bring the number 3 ke depan? Kenapa? Sebabnya saya boleh apply formula nombor 3. Formula nombor 3 mengatakan bahawa when you have a power for the m here, you can bring it in front. Bawa dia ke depan, dia akan jadi di depan. So this is what I'm doing. The power, bring it to the front. It will become 3 ln E instead. And now, ln E sebenarnya nilai dia 1. How do I know? This is the natural logarithm. Oh, this one. The natural logarithm said that whenever ln meet with an E, it will give you nilai 1. Okay, so the answer is actually 3 minus ln 7. Done. And here, last question for me, which is ln here can change, ln x here can change into the power of 1 over 2. Again, I think you already know how to do and apply this formula. This is very close to the question, to the formula number 3, di mana apabila dia mempunyai power, you can bring it in front. Therefore, it also give you ln 1 over 2 times ln x. So all of these are the same thing. These are all definisi yang sama. Kenapa saya kata dia sama? Sebab dia equal sign. Equal sign means equivalent. This left is equals to that. This right hand side is equals to the left hand side. So mereka adalah sama berdasarkan formula yang kita telah pun belajar di SPM dulu. So now I would like to move forward now to go to the 2.1b. This is the B, the second goal for the equations where it involving the equations that involving indices, surd and logarithm. Again, kita akan masuk balik dalam masa 20 minit balance 20 minit ini, kita akan belajar tentang how do we solve equations yang melibatkan index number, surd dan logarithm. So kita akan ada lagi 3 page untuk saya ajar kepada you all. Hopefully enough time, 20 minutes. So now we have index form. Okay, index form ini tidaklah berdiri dengan sendirinya, ataupun saya panggil dia sebagai indices lah. I hope you understand the term where these two are the same thing. Okay, nama yang sama sahaja, indices, index form, the same thing. Cumanya dia bukanlah berdiri dengan dirinya sendiri lagi. Dia tidak berdiri dengan sendiri, dia berdiri dengan kawan di sebelah ni. So we have left hand side is equals to right hand side there. It is just that we need to find what is our value of x. Okay, so now saya akan tunjukkan tekniknya. Tekniknya adalah we must have the same base. So you kena berfikir dengan dalam dan lebih dalam lagi, adakah ini nombor perfect square? Okay, gotta recall back, is this a number of perfect square? Yes or no? Yes, perfect square. Times, give me a times up lah dalam chat di situ. If you know that this is a perfect square, yes, I know it. Thank you. So now 27 base dia adalah 3 kuasa 3. Manakala 9 pula juga adalah index form, adalah mempunyai index form daripada 3 kuasa 2. So it's very important lah untuk you all dah cukup hafal dah bahawa 3 squared 9. 9 adalah 3 squared. 27 adalah 3 cube. Okay, you call this 3 cube. And so you got to make sure you already understand this. You already in your head. Okay, so you just must put a bracket for both of them. And then you write down the power for each of the index form. Okay, you write down the power for each of the index form. Tidak berubah pun power x tambah 1, x tolak 1. Therefore, you already know the rules of indices. Di mana apabila a, m darabkan dengan n, dia akan jadi a kuasa mn. Therefore, it will give you 3 to the power of 3x plus 3 is equals to 3 to the power of 2x minus 2. Therefore, you can now, apabila base dah sama, bolehlah kita buat comparison. Bila kita buat comparison, kita tinggalkan base tersebut. Kita tulis sahaja the power 3x plus 3 is equals to 2x minus 2. Therefore, the answer is x is equals to negative 5. Done. Can you follow me? So the technique is just a comparison. Compare the base lah. Itu lebih tepat. Compare the base. Apabila base telah pun sama, bolehlah kita compare the power. So when we can compare the power, we got the answer. Just make sure your rule of indices is very strong. Okay? You punya rules tu, you punya pemahaman dan penghafalan you mesti kuat. Kalau indices you kuat, you can solve the equation. The equation bermaksud this symbol, guys. Equation means equal sign. Remember this. Equation sebenarnya adalah equal sign lah. Next part is question B. So question B here, alamak, nombor dua-dua ni ya. Sebelum kita jawab, kita fikir dulu, adakah left hand side equal to right hand side here? Boleh aku compare base? Boleh tak? Boleh ke aku compare the base? Kalau boleh, boleh teruskan. Tetapi kalau base dia macam tidak sama, this is in fact 3 times 4, no, nothing same base here, no. Tak ada base yang sama dengan 7 ini. In fact 12 is nothing, tak boleh pecah kepada 7 pun. And so, it cannot compare base, tak boleh compare base. So kalau tak boleh compare base, kita buatlah teknik log both side. Ataupun saya panggil dia sebagai LBS, log both side. So when you log both side, just put the log lah, log both side. When you put the log both side, you write down the question balik. And then di sinilah you punya law of logarithm kena kuat. Okay, lagi satu benda yang kena kuat adalah the law of logarithm. Where this power can be in front here, boleh diletakkan di depan ni. Dia akan jadi log 7 pula lah. And now log 12 is equals to the log 12 here. Therefore, the answer is x plus 1 is equals to log 12 divided with log 7. Okay? And final answer is x equals to log 12 over log 7. Jangan lupa tolakkan dengan 1. You akan dapat jawapan 0.2770. Done. And here is where kita masih dalam soalan indices ya. We are still at the indices part. Indices question ya. Soalan ni pun indices ya. Jangan takut. Kita kena tahu dulu, oh soalan ni berbentuk apa? Indices. Everything here is indices. So I'm still teaching you at indices part. So please focus. So here goes. Saya laju ya. This can be pecah menjadi 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of 1. Kalau you lupa, you tolonglah refer rumus indices. So here goes. This 5 can be changed into 5x to the power of 2. Bukanlah to the power of 2. I just separate this thing into becoming a bracket so that what tau? So that saya nak samakan dia dengan yang di belah kanan ni. Kejap. Saya nak dapatkan variable yang sama. Daripada dia 5 ni 2x plus 1 ni, saya jadikan dia sama dengan yang di belah kanan ni. Supaya apa? Supaya saya boleh letkan dia menjadi satu variable m. Tak kisah you nak pakai huruf apa, pakailah huruf y atau w, pakai. Asalkan you gantikan 5 to the power of x ini kepada huruf m sebentar. Tukarkan dia sebentar sahaja. Okay. Dan 5 di depan ni saya bawa dia ke depan lah pula. Okay. Saya just susun dia, I rearrange it. This one is m ya, m squared. This is particularly m squared here. And then I got 6m here. Then minus 1. And then I rearrange it. This is actually a quadratic equation. Remember ya, you kena tahu dah kot. This is a quadratic equation. Where quadratic equation boleh difaktorkan. You use calculator, either you use your brain. So here goes minus. It's gonna give you 1 over 5 and also positive 1. The thing about m here is you tahu dia diganti saja. This is just a temporary huruf m. So you gotta change this m back into 5 to the power of x. Ganti balik. Substitute back, subs back. Okay, we call this subs back. Subs back from what you have changed just now into 5 to the power of x balik lah. So now kita jadikan dia sebagai index balik. Your final answer will be -1 or x is equals to 0. I'm sorry, I'm a bit faster because I don't have enough time. All I can say is that this number 1 change into 5 to the power of 0. Sebab apa? Saya nak dia sama base. Apabila dia sama base, saya boleh compare the power. That's why my answer is x equals to 0. If you do not know it, whatever number is to the power of 0 gonna give us 1. All of us know that. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm using this last formula number 9. And so I would like you to try it by yourself. The last two questions. CTS bermaksud completing the square. You can try it yourself. Try to solve this one menggunakan completing the square technique. Cara dia sama sahaja dengan subs method ini. Kita panggil dia substitute method. Substitute method bermaksud tukar ganti untuk cari jawapan dengan lebih mudah. Now I would like to go to surd lah. I gotta go faster, okay? Tinggal 10 minit je lagi ni. So now we have equation untuk surd pula. Okay, equation surd. So soalan dia mestilah ada equal. Of course, soalan dia mesti ada equal dan soalan dia mesti ada surd. Like I said here, ada equal, ada surd bermaksud surd equation lah. Surd equation. So cara-cara untuk menyelesaikan dia adalah kita kena make sure satu side ada satu surd je. So in this case, square root of 2x minus 1, you gotta make sure it is only at one side. Only at one side. You tengok ni arahan ni. If there is only one surd, put it on one side. Okay, so this is what I put. I put it on the left hand side. And so the next step will be square both sides. The next step adalah square both sides. SBS bermaksud square both sides. Saya akan dapat jawapan 2x minus 1 is equals to 25. Therefore, 2x is equals to 26, x is equals to 13. Ini adalah jawapan dia, betul. Tetapi kita perlu buat recheck. Surd sentiasa perlukan recheck. Recheck bermaksud kita perlu check sama ada left hand side is equals to the right hand side. That is our job. You know, kita perlu check lah, double check. Cara nak check adalah kita kena rujukkan soalan asal. Soalan asal dia kata this is left hand side, right? Left hand side adalah square root 2 times 13 minus 1 minus 5. Apakah jawapan dia? Jawapan dia, tekan calculator, jawapan dia kosong. Manakala right hand side here, original question, is also 0. Therefore what? Therefore left hand side is equals to right hand side. Maksudnya dua-dua ni equal lah. Dua-dua ni equal of each other, or I should write it down as left hand side is eventually equals to right hand side. Therefore, the final answer is of course, kita dah proven lah, seolah-olah kita dah proven bahawa jawapan ni betul, x is equals to 13. So basically, surd perlu recheck. Surd wajib recheck. Sebab apa? Sebab certain soalan, dia tidak equal to each other. Sometimes one of it is not equal. They are not equal to each other. Some questions sahajalah. So now let me give you another example. Di mana kita mempunyai dua surd sekarang ni. Look at here. Dua surd dalam satu side tau. This is two surd at one side. Therefore, if there is two surd, move one to the other side. Okay, move one to the other side bermaksud you pindahkan salah satu ke belah kanan. You pindahkan, dia akan jadi lebih senang untuk diselesaikan. Ini tips ya. Tips ni pakailah, memudahkan you all juga. Therefore, bring another surd to the right hand side part. Bring it to the right. Salah satu. Tak kisah, yang ini pun boleh juga. You try and you will get the same answer. And so, dah dapatkan satu side, you punya aim adalah one side, one third kan? One side, one third. Itu goal kita kan? That's the technique, that's the tips. Next step is where you need to square both sides. Now this is called as square both side technique. Okay, apabila kita dah square both side, kita akan dapat x plus 2. This is gonna give us 4 minus 4 square root x minus x. Okay, saya buat laju ya. Saya buat laju supaya saya nak cepat. This is positive lah. Negative is positive. And so x is cut. And then here goes square root of 4 square root of x equals to 2. Yeah. And so here goes. Apabila kita mempunyai square lagi di salah satu side, kita perlu square both side again. Okay, square both side again until the square root has disappeared. Okay, bila dia hilang, dia akan jadi 16x is equals to 4. Therefore, x is equals to 1 over 4. So, di sini, you perlu ingat untuk recheck lagi. Okay, jangan lupa untuk recheck. This recheck nampak remeh, tetapi dia adalah penentu you all dapat jawapan betul ataupun salah. So, make sure you do a recheck. So, left hand side, right hand side. Right hand side memang kita tahu dia 2. So make sure you recheck based on the original tau. Original problem. Original problem bermaksud soalan asal lah. Soalan asal bermaksud original problem. So make sure right hand side is the number 2. And then here goes left hand side here is you kena masuk 1/4 tambah square root 1/4 tambah 2. It will give you the same value iaitu 2. Okay, therefore both of them are equal to each other. Therefore left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Therefore the final answer put it a conclusion saying that x is definitely equals to 1/4, and then you put the hashtag. Hashtag bermaksud your final answer lah. Alright, so remember third must be rechecked. Wajib recheck. So now here goes. Soalan ini I would like you to try. Daripada semua soalan yang saya bagi, tolonglah cuba soalan ini. Soalan ini paling penting untuk dipakai, untuk dicuba. Iaitu, you have 3 cert, you know that. Saya nak semua student saya wajib cuba ini. I don't have the time to show you, but there are 3 cert, you know that. So when there are 3 cert, make sure one of them is on the other side, on one side, okay? You rearrange them, and eventually you will get 2 answers, you know that? 2 answers where one is -2, one is a half. But this is actually rejected. Kenapa dia rejected? Sebab dia punya left hand side is not equals to the right hand side. So I want you yourself to prove it to yourself. You buktikan pada diri you, sama ada you jumpa ke tidak, bahawa ini di reject, dan final answer hanyalah x bersamaan dengan 1/2. Try to do it yourself. And last one from me is logarithm equation. Again, we have an equal. Problem kita ada equal, dan problem kita mempunyai logarithm. So we have an equal sign, and we have also logarithm punya soalan. So logarithm punya soalan, saya tak cukup masa, dah jam 10, ada orang nak ambil exam. So those yang ambil exam, you must stop there and go to the link here. I would like to stop for a bit. To those yang ambil exam test, boleh pergi ke link semula. And you can start already, okay? Sebab students yang belum ambil diagnostic test, dia menggunakan link yang sama. So I want to make sure that you use the same link. Alright? Dia start pada jam 10 dan berhenti pada 10.45. So to those yang belum ambil test, diagnostic test, please make sure you do it now. Sorry about that. Saya apparently tidak cukup masa. Saya perlukan lagi 10 minit untuk sambung mengajar. Kalau tidak habislah. Kalau tidak, you all ada difficulty untuk buat tutorial kemudian. So, to those yang exam, sila berhenti. To those yang sudah pun ambil diagnostic test, teruskan belajar bersama saya. So here goes logarithm problem. This is called as logarithm equation. So now you akan tertanya-tanya, madam, apa benda lah ni kan? So this is actually a log A plus a log B is equals to log AB. Does it seem familiar to you? This is actually law, the law of logarithm, where you have learned it already. Okay? So, you tak perlu takut. Dia sebenarnya adalah log base 2. Base 2 masih sama, biarkan. Yang berbeza sekarang ni adalah X darabkan dengan X tolak 7. Okay, so yang berbeza sekarang ni adalah di bahagian ini, di mana this is actually log AB and this is log A plus log B. This is what I'm doing. I'm just using a law of logarithm. Okay, kita boleh pakai. Kadang-kadang kita perlukan ini, kadang-kadang kita perlukan ini. Ikut pada kehendak soal, ikut kepada situasi. Kadang-kadang kita perlukan ini, MN. Okay, kita perlukan dia sebab apa? Sebab kita boleh change this. We can change this logarithm punya penulisan, punya equation into indices equation. Have you seen this before? This is actually logarithm equation. Dia bertukar menjadi index equation. Dia boleh bertukar mengikut kehendak soalan, mengikut apa yang kita rasa kita perlukan. Sebab kita nak value of x, isn't it? And so the answer is just x squared minus 7x equals to 8. Therefore, you simplify them. You factorize them. You will get x is equals to negative 1 or x is equals to 8. The thing is, about logarithm, x is equals to 1 is rejected. Okay, kenapa dia di-reject? Disebabkan, since you gotta put explanation lah. Since logarithm base 2 untuk negative 1, masukkan nilai di balik, is undefined. Undefined bermaksud maths error. So when it's a maths error, the only answer is just x equals to 8. Jawapan yang betul hanyalah positive value sahaja. Apabila menyelesaikan soalan logarithm problem. Okay, so this is also has to recheck. Logarithm dan surd perlu wajib sentiasa recheck. Now here goes a logarithm still, but this is called as ln. Now it has been minused. Kalau dia minus, kita perlu bahagi. Betul? So in fact, belah kanan ni tak berubah pun. Belah kanan ni sama saja. Yang belah kiri ni, I am applying a formula of number 2. The logarithm, the law of logarithm, lol. So I am applying lol. Applying the formula lol, the law of logarithm lah. So you just follow the rule. Your job right now is to follow the rule first. Aplikasinya nanti. Sekarang ni, kita follow the rules, follow the example here. So now our job is to compare left and right, comparison. Therefore, the answer is 4x plus 1 divided with 3x minus 2 gonna give us 5. You solve, you will get the answer is positive 1. So a positive 1, you DIY buat sendiri. Positive 1 is a good number. I mean not good number, it's a positive value. Bila masukkan balik ke dalam ln positive is always going to give you an answer. Therefore it's a defined. It's defined, okay? Dia define bermaksud dia ada nilai lah. Undefined bermaksud maths error. Tak ada nombor. Okay, so we always love to have an answer for logarithm yang berbentuk define, ada nombor. Last one from me, a very last one from me lah. This is like indices. I know. Dia macam soalan ni bentuk dia macam index number kan. Tapi sebenarnya you boleh logkan dia. Okay, you logkan dia macam mana? You pakai log both side. So you log both side just using the log base 10 lah. So log base 10 tak perlu tulis pun. Kadang-kadang some of you suka tulis, kadang-kadang tak tulis pun tidak apa. Kenapa tak perlu tulis? Sebab log base 10 sebenarnya log biasa, the common log. Okay, kalau sini tak tulis bermaksud dia log base 10. I think you already know it. So this is just the common log. So you don't need to write this down. Tak perlu pun. I just want to log both side. Untuk apa tahu? Hanyalah untuk membawa power ini ke depan. Therefore power ini dah pun ke depan. Dan apabila dia ke depan, saya boleh darab masukkan. Saya darab masukkan. Kalau saya tak darab masuk, saya tak akan dapat jawapan. Therefore saya darab masukkan ni. Saya darab masuk, saya akan dapat x log 2 minus log 2 is equals to x log 3. Therefore, I can rearrange log with log. I mean, bukan log with log. I can rearrange x, having x log with x log. Saya rearrange it. I rearrange it and I can factorize the x outside. So I will get inside here log 2 minus log 3. And therefore the final answer is just having x as a subject, because that's our goal, right? To find the x value. So log 2 divided with log 2 minus log 3, and you press your calculator. This is base 10. It will give you the answer of negative 1.7095. So try it yourself whether you got the answer here. And then itu sajalah dari saya. Dan soalan yang terakhir ni, kalau you mahu cuba DIY question, you will get two kind of answer, which is x is equals to 3 and x, ataupun or. Comma means or, ya. Common bermaksud or. X is equals to 1 over 81. So both of them are acceptable. Both of them are accepted because both of them are positive value. Sebab apa? Apabila x positive ini dimasukkan ke dalam logarithm, in fact ini soalan asal di index. Index tak perlu recheck pun. So both of them are correct anyway. So basically conclusion untuk hari ini, sebelum saya berhenti, conclusion hari ini adalah recheck hanya perlu surd dan juga logarithm sahaja. Recheck wajib, ya. Recheck wajib untuk dapatkan jawapan akhir yang tepat. Okay, hanyalah untuk soalan yang berbentuk, the problem yang berbentuk surd equation ataupun logarithm equation. Indices tidak perlu recheck. Only two of them. Tapi kalau semua yang you nak recheck pun boleh, apa salahnya. So I stop here. I will see you on Tuesday with 2.2 inequalities. Thank you for listening. I hope you understand and you can do the DIY question as many as you can and compare your answer with your friends, growth partners, all right? Thank you very much. I stop here. Assalamualaikum. Goodbye.